I'm live on YouTube. So if you guys order a reading and you can't stay, yeah. So left hand is what you receive with. This is what you receive with. The right hand is what you give. Now, everybody, I've heard it the other way as well. So it's all how you feel. I have also heard it explained that whichever your dominant hand is the one you take with, and whichever your non-dominant hand is the one you give with. But I've heard, I mean, yeah. I would really say my personal is the left is what I take with, the right is what I give with. But you guys, everybody's different, okay? Everybody is different. So, all right. Ready, Miss Kathryn? There's a big boom. So these are light work readings. These are a little bit different, okay? With light work readings, it's to help you figure out where your light belongs. Because sometimes we just fling our energy wherever and just hope it's going to stick somewhere. We fling our love wherever and hope it's going to stick somewhere. That doesn't always help. It doesn't always work, okay? So, yeah. Well, I only have one Kathryn on my list. So, it's Kathryn T. So, these readings are to help you figure out where to focus all of that light energy, okay? So, the very first card you have is Become the Master You Seek. Now, I am going to draw another card here because I need clarification on this second one. But become the master you seek. Sometimes we don't need anybody to tell us things. Now, I'm not saying that you just automatically know everything. So y'all, please don't take it that way because some people are going to take that and run with it. But sometimes we need to just step back and realize that we have to focus on us, that we need to take all of the things we've learned, all of the energy, everything like that, and process. We become our own master when we're processing everything that we have learned. Does that make sense? Becoming the master that you seek means to quiet your mind, to pay attention to where your energy is going. The other card you have here is security. And I am going to draw a second card because I kind of need a little clarification on where this security is. And I love how someone asked if that was Jesus on that card. Okay. And then I love how someone else said, how dare you mock my God? Like, nowhere does it say that that's Jesus. So, I don't know. I'm sorry if you felt the way that you felt. But, that sounds like a you problem. I wish you all the best. So, you have the security card. Well, security can mean a massive amount of things. So that's why I was like, I need a little bit of clarification. Okay. This is community. Okay. This is community. Your security and where you need to focus your security, your protection is with your community. So this is all of the people around you. Oh, honey. I'm so sorry that you're not a good troll. I'm so sorry. If you were a good troll, I would have let you stay. If you were funny, I would have let you stay. I'm disappointed. You even made a whole troll account. I'm saddened. I'm saddened. Super saddened. I've been on TikTok long enough to have seen some amazing, amazing troll comments. Super mega original troll comments. And that one just, I'm disappointed. It is what it is. All right. Kathryn, your security needs to lie with your community. This means that whoever it is around you that you've been feeling the need to kind of protect, to put your energy around them, to make sure that everything's okay with them. We all have people like that in our group, whether it is somebody in our family, our friend group, our work, whatever. We all have somebody around us where we just instantly feel protective of that person for some reason. I mean, sometimes we know why and sometimes we don't, but that's exactly right here what you need to be focused, where you need to be focusing your energy is on your community, those people around you. Okay. What's funny is this last card is hiding my fourth yawn, but it is open intuition. Focus on what you have learned. I'm just saying what I'm saying. What I find really interesting is that this is in the middle of these two cards. Okay? By focusing on what you've learned and becoming your own guru, you're automatically going to open your intuition. Thank you for subscribing, Lynn. You're automatically going to open your intuition. Think about it. I mean, look how similar those two cards look. I'm just saying. Focus your energy. Focus your intuition on the things you have already learned. Kathryn, I'm just curious, how long have you kind of been in the spiritual realm? How long have you been doing all of these things? I guarantee you have no idea how many videos you've watched, how many articles you've read. Yeah. Several years. So how many books have you gone through? How many articles have you read through? How many videos have you watched? How many things have you watched and went, holy shit, that's a good idea? And how many things have you watched and went, what in the fuck did I just watch? I'm just saying. Honey, we all still feel like babies. Seriously, seriously. Thank you for subscribing. Let me see. Let me get your name. I'm going to say Courtney. Here's the thing, guys. The more you learn when it comes to your spiritual self, whether it's with Christianity, whether it's with Islam, whether it's with witchcraft, whether it's with Norse practices, whatever it is, the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know. The wisest person you're ever going to come across is going to tell you that they don't know shit about shit. So, Kathryn, don't stress about that, okay? There's always going to be something more to learn. Because here's the thing. If you have learned it all, if you could learn it all, how boring would that be? How boring would that be? Do you see what I'm saying? So, step back from all of the insanity of trying to learn so much, of trying to pack it all in there, and focus on the things you've already learned. Master the things you've already learned. And also focus on adding your protection and your security for your community. Thank you, Sophia. And by your community, it doesn't necessarily mean like your whole town. These are the people that are just right there around you. Does that make sense? There's someone in particular that immediately, it's funny, I lined those cards up just perfect like that. But staying the course feels so hard right now. It almost feels like I need a test. So it's funny you mention that. We all go through phases where we're in a mode that we know we just need to push forward. The only way out is through. But yet we can't. We get this like ADHD, I need everything now. You know, nothing is going to change unless I shift and pivot. But sometimes we don't need to shift and pivot. If we shift and pivot, then we fuck up the whole plan. So you have to stay the course. The only way out is through. The only way to learn all these things and master the things you've already learned is to focus and to put them into practice. It's what people all the time are like, how did you learn all of this stuff? How did you learn all this stuff? Repetition. Repetition. You can't just look at something and immediately memorize a whole book. You can't just look at a deck of cards and immediately memorize the whole deck of cards. Do you see what I'm saying? You have to put the time and the effort in. So when you learn something new, you have to put the time and the effort in to master just that. Foundations are key. If you don't master your foundations, then you're going to move up too quickly and your foundations are going to topple because they're not strong. They're not in the positions they're supposed to be in. You have to have an amazing foundation for your spiritual self before you can continue to move forward. But let me say this. We all end up fucking up our foundations at one point or another, and some stuff topples. It just is the way it is. It's like trying to build with all of the Legos, but only putting like a few on the bottom, and it looks great, and then part of it falls. Like it just happens. It happens to all of us, okay? So even if you guys are like, damn, man, I had some toppling going on. Dude, we all do. I'm gonna tell you guys a little secret right now, okay? We all do. All of us. Everyone. Even the ones that you guys think are like these amazing spiritual gurus or whatever, we all fall. We all have part of our foundations crumble because we didn't put it on there enough. Everybody. Nobody is perfect when it comes to spirituality. Nobody knows everything when it comes to spirituality. They just don't. They just don't. Okay? So please, please, please don't stress. Okay, Kathryn? Don't stress. Having a crumbling part and having to go back and go, oh shit, okay. Well, that didn't work and now this is all fucked up. So let me fix this. That's how we learn. How we learn. Okay? By paying attention to all that stuff you've already learned and mastering it, your intuition is going to go through the roof. You'll know when it's time to move forward. You'll know when it's time to shift and pivot. But for right now, it's time to kind of focus, pay attention to your intuition, practice all of those things that you've learned. And here's the thing, when you take the time to practice all the things you've learned and kind of master them, and then you get to where it's like second nature and you're just like, bah, 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 bah. Dude, there is no better motivation. There's no better motivation. There's no better confidence boost than doing something on autopilot and you look back and you're like, oh my God, I just did that. Oh my God, I just did that. I'm just saying what I'm saying. Modification. That ought to be a new one. Modification. Modification. You're welcome for that. Did that make sense, Kathryn? I was reading your comments as they were going by, too. It sounds like you already knew all of this and this was just confirmation. It was just modification. I'm going to be using that word a lot. And then what sucks is I'll probably forget it in the morning and then I'll be like, what was that fucking word? You're welcome, sweetheart. Yeah, start focusing on the things that you already know. I'm serious, okay? I love that. Continue with the song of your bracelet. All right, Miss Jessica Carmona, you're next, honey. I love that. The song of your bracelet. Yeah. That's awesome. Stayed for the modification. Yeah. Dude, that ought to be on a shirt. Came for the vibe, stayed for the modification. I love you right back. We're just going to go ahead and draw 2 cards here because I know that sometimes in the middle, this card is like, no, I'm not going to tell you shit. I don't want that one. It didn't feel right. There we go. Better. All right. We ready? We ready? I can't read upside down. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. So, your first card is interesting. Okay? Okay? Miss Jessica. This right here is lift the curse and forgive. And notice it's upside down. Notice it's upside down. This is going to sound funny for a light working message, but just hear me out, okay? You'll understand why in a minute. Sometimes the thing that is in our highest good is actually to continue to hold the grudge. It is to continue to hold on to that and not let it go. It's to continue to not allow it to be open again. Does that make sense? Because when we decide to let go of something, when we decide to forgive, and when we decide to abandon this wall, this energy, okay? It opens us back up to that other person's energy. There's a reason the wall was there. There's a reason you were holding the grudge. Okay? It is not time for you to let go of that grudge, Jessica. It's not. So I have a feeling that this right here has popped up, because you've been considering it. You've been considering it. Whether they've been working on you or whether you've just been considering it. It is not time. It is not time. Because you still need to protect your inner peace. Sometimes our inner peace comes when we have hardcore boundaries set up. With inner peace comes abundance. So, your light work is not to let go of this grudge just yet. Your light work is to focus on your inner peace and protecting your energy and circling your wagons and making sure that your abundance is first. It's not selfish, y'all. Okay? How are you going to help anybody else with their abundance if your abundance is in the floor? Do you see what I'm saying? When you protect your energy, when you focus on your inner peace. You know what's really funny is like, I really needed to hear this really badly right now. It's so funny. I am that person right now that comes into live and like, damn, that wasn't my reading, but that sounds like what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? When we focus on our own inner peace and protecting our own energy, our abundance completely goes through the roof. When you take the time and focus on yourself, that's when the expansion comes. That's when you expand your world in a way you never thought possible. This is the expansion card. It's not time to let go of that grudge. It's not time to let this energy back into your life. Keep it way the fuck right over there, okay? Keep it right over there. Not only do you need to keep it right over there, but you need to focus on your inner peace. Let everything expand like it's supposed to expand, okay? Yes? Yes. All right. Miss Sadie, are you ready? You're next, sweet pea. You are so welcome, honey. And how are you, by the way? Oh, I'm so sorry that you aren't feeling good, sweetheart. Everybody's been kind of sick, on, off, weird shit lately. All right, Sadie, you ready? Okay. You've been ignoring some gifty gifts. You've been ignoring some gifty gifts. I'm just saying. Oh, I looked up just in time to see that. Sarah said, I adore you. You helped me more than you'll ever know last week. Oh, I'm so glad, honey. I'm so glad. I'm glad I could help, even if it's a tiny bit. Okay? All right. Sadie. Your first card is Visualize Healing. Now, healing is different for everybody. Healing is different for everybody. And sometimes we don't even know what healing looks like to be able to visualize it. If you've just lost someone or something, you know, like your job, your house, whatever, your marriage or relationship, or you've lost someone, we have no idea what healing is going to look like for us. But we just trudge forward through it anyway. We don't even really stop. Woo, look at Leanne go with the... We trudge forward anyway. We don't take the time to stop and say, okay, what is it I need to do in here so I can heal? What is it I need to do in here so I can heal? What is it I need to do here so I can heal? Visualizing how it is, what it is to heal is key. People don't understand this. We're taught to just suck it up and just, you know, put on a good face and go forward. But that's not always right. So Sadie, the very first thing you need to focus your light work, your energy on is to look at what it means for you internally in here to heal. What does it look like? And then visualize that. Okay? Because by visualizing it, that's when you're able to make a change. That's when you're able to go, oh my God, this is what I feel like healing looks like, but I've been doing this way over here. So if I feel like healing is here and I'm going this way, I need to make a change and I need to shift and go back over this way. Once you shift, once you make this change, girl, you are in for like a ride. I'm just letting you know, because the next one is abundance. This change comes abundance. I'm going to tell, the ride is coming up here in a minute. Okay. Okay. But a lot of times when we continue to trudge down the path that we're not supposed to go down, the universe is like, you know what? You're not listening. Fine. You know what? You're not getting extra money. Oh, you're still going down that path. Okay. Well, now you have car problems. Oh, you're still going down that path. Okay. All right. Well, now you don't have a job. Now what you going to do? Well, you're still going down that path. All right, shit. Like the universe just like puts all these things in there. It just is like, But we still trudge down. And when we finally make that shift and that pivot and we change, abundance. The universe is like, thank God you listened. Here's all of the shit back. Now, the reason I said you have some shift and pivot coming is because that's my Fiftheon. And this is actually the light codes card. Travel awaits you. Light codes are activated when we are at peak performance. Now, that doesn't mean the top. It just means kind of at peak. I know you're like, wait, peak does mean top. No, not necessarily. If you ever been to the top of a mountain, you can't really go and stand on the very top tippity little peak. You have to stand on the area around the peak. You see what I'm saying? When you visualize what healing looks like to you, and then you make this shift and pivot, and that abundance comes flying back in, honey. When light codes are activated, they're different for everybody. Some people get them in the form of writing. Wow. You're on number 6. Some people get them in the form of writing. Some people get them in the form of speaking. Some people get them in the form of mudras. Some people get them in the form of just, I don't know, all kinds of different things. All kinds of different things. So when you make this change and this abundance comes back in, get ready for this. Get ready for this. Get ready for this. When light codes get activated, you become a completely different person. Just, I love you right back. And what's even better about it is when you look back at the person you were before, you're like, how the fuck was I ever that person? How was I ever that person? So, yeah. Start by visualizing what it means for you to be healed. Okay? And I'm not going to lie. It sounds easy, and it is. But it can also be one of the hardest things to do at the same time. Okay? And that's actually good advice for all of you. To look at what healing looks like. What you feel like healing looks like. I mean, if you lost a relationship, a marriage, just a relationship, anything like that. What does healing look like for you in your love life? Does it look like another successful relationship? Does it look like getting married and being married for the rest of your life? Or does it look like you finally being able to stand on your own 2 feet and not needing someone there? Does it look like you being independent and being okay with being by yourself so that you are able to be a good partner to someone else? Do you see? We may think that, oh, well, you know, I've got to immediately run out and get in a new relationship and hurry and do this and do this and do this. But just saying. You see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying after I'm saying what I'm saying? With all of the sayings? Thank you, Sadie Poo. All right. Kimberly Doyle. Aw, thank you, Lynn. I am a very happy Bodhi right now. I'm a super happy Bodhi. Over the last 2, almost 3 years, I have done a lot of personal healing. I have done a lot of putting myself back together, really in the last 5 years almost. I've done a lot of putting myself back together. I've done a lot of alone time. And I really made sure that before I ever thought about getting into a relationship, that I was in a good place to be a good partner to somebody. Hey, I'm a wreck. Thank you, honey. And I'm just going to give you guys some advice, okay? This is just from me personally, okay? Not from anybody else. To really be a good person, to be solid in a relationship and be a good partner to someone, okay? You don't want to be someone's support beam. You don't want to be someone's, you don't want to be the one that does everything and they don't do anything. You don't want to be the codependence in that relationship. You see what I'm saying? You want to be a good partner to someone. You don't need to be behind someone. You don't need to be in front of someone. A good relationship works on a partnership. But what parts of you have to be healed before you can be in a good partnership? What parts of you have to be healed before you can be a good partner? If you have never been able to successfully live on your own for any length of time, if you have never been able to successfully live on your own and take your own self to dinner or to a movie, or just be okay having your own space, that is the first thing you need to work on. It is the first thing you need to work on. Because it's the hardest thing there is, to be okay with being by yourself. And I'm going to tell you some good secrets about being by yourself. You ready? You're always going to pick the right movie. You're always going to pick the right place to eat. You're always going to pause the movie when you need to go pee. You're always ready to go to bed at the right time. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, you might still like side seat drive yourself, but for the most part, you're the one in control of the car. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? So, be okay with you first. Be okay with you first. Thank you for that, sweet pea. If you're not okay with you first, you can't be a good partner to anybody. You just can't. You just can't. Okay? Which means you're always going to be a crutch, Captain Save-A-Ho, or the whipping boy. You're always going to be something that isn't anywhere close to a healthy relationship. Thank you, Miss Joy. How are you feeling? How are you feeling tonight, sweetheart? Okay? So, yeah. All right. Kimberly. Seriously? Y'all watch me shuffle, yeah? Well, I find it really funny that we just went through that little field. Thank you, Erica. What I find really interesting is, y'all watch me shuffle. Kimberly, you also start off with, you know, not letting go of the grudge. But I think yours is completely different just because of, well, I know it's completely different, but let me just say that. It's not time for you to let go of that drive yet. When it comes to your light work, sometimes, this is Kimberly Doyle. I only have one Kim on my list tonight. Let me make sure. Let me refresh my list. When it comes to the drive that we have to push forward in anything, whether it's our job, whether it's our computer not being a piece of fuck. Oh, now I screwed up my list all over again. We're just going to randomly make horrible noises at my computer. I'm just saying. I don't know why it's doing what it's doing, but it's kind of killing me here. So weird. So weird. It's being a butthole. Okay. Thank you. I'm glad that you decided to work. Yeah. Yes. All right, Kim. It is what it is. That was just weird. All right. Focus. With yours isn't so much a grudge with someone else or a situation. Yours is with yourself. Okay? So, when it comes to not letting go of this grudge and your light work, I'm not saying don't work on healing, because we're going to talk about that. What I am saying, however, is don't let go of that fire to shift and change yet. Sometimes that fire is what is making the light, okay? That fire is what's going to teach you patience and what's going to bring pleasure in. Your light work is completely different than what you think light work should be. Okay, Kim? Sometimes we think light work, or we mistakenly believe that light work is all love and light. It's all love and light. Everything we do has to be just sickeningly sweet and happy and, whatever. But it doesn't. Light work can sometimes be teaching someone boundaries. Yawning repeatedly and losing your train of thought. Light work can be teaching someone boundaries. Light work can be telling someone no. It can be us learning to say no. But there are those people that they haven't ever been told no. By learning patience, by not letting go of that grudge, by setting boundaries, by working on all of the avenues of light work that we need to work on, not only are you going to find that patience, but you're going to find that light work itself, your form of light work, Kim, has an amazing amount of happiness and pleasure that goes along with it. Now, this part is interesting because we talked about not letting go of this grudge and this fire that you have for you and gaining the patience and the pleasure from it. I don't think you've been ignoring a gift. I think that it's probably happened a couple of times and it scared the fuck out of you. Because this is the astral travel card. And this, on the bottom of it, says caution needed. Y'all, astral travel is nothing to joke about. It's nothing to joke about. Okay? So, Miss Kim, apparently you are a talented traveler. Apparently you are a talented traveler. I have a feeling that maybe you just have kind of turned it off a little bit lately. Maybe you went a little too far or something happened. You scared the shit out of yourself. Honey, this fire that you have to change and shift, this amazing type of light work that you exhibit has to do a lot with astral traveling. I would advise you to kind of ease back into this a little bit. Astral traveling is not just, oh, let's just get fucked up and go do something way out there in, astral plane. No. Astral travel is used, especially in a spiritual purpose. Thought I was going to yawn again. For changing our reality. For shifting. For using our light work to do amazing things. That fire that you have, Kim, don't stop it. Don't stop it. Don't stop it. Start traveling a little bit more. Do it protective. Do it carefully. Don't go too far out there. But, honey, you need to be traveling. You need to be doing the astral travel a little more. Okay? In other words, your light work is more useful in the astral plane and with what it can do there, meaning it's extremely strong. Some people's light work is too strong for here. And so when we put out love and light, it comes back on us like we just put out all kinds of shit. Because our love, our light work works better in the plane it exists in. Does that make sense? I know that sounded crazy, but he's like, bitch, you crazy. But I hope that made sense. Some people's light work, some people's fire doesn't have the things here that it needs. Thank you for that. Because it's in the astral that the vast majority of our light work is done. Okay? There are all kinds of beings and people and so on in the astral. I love that you said it made sense to you. Thank you. So I was like, wow, you sound crazy right now. Crazy! Because, yeah. Why is this doing what it's doing? I don't know. Okay. All right. Whatever. All right, Jeff. You ready? I'm glad it made sense to some of you. I carry these in my shop, by the way. I thought they were awesome. Well, you are crazy. Sweet. The best of us are. Well, it's really funny, and I'm not ready to release the class lineup just yet, but November we'll start some new classes, and some group sessions on Zoom. So if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, on Facebook, if you're not members of the site, please do so, because I'm about to release a November calendar so you guys can get in on the classes. And I'm about to revamp my class structure on the site. So if you guys have been wanting to take some beginner mentorship classes, if you've been wanting to learn more about baneful magic, about astral travel, about herbalism, all the things, I'm just saying what I'm saying. All right. Jeff Harris, you ready? Just saying what I'm saying. Okay. All right, Jeff. You start off with looking through the mist to find the mystery. This is like a really, really beautiful card. Reminds me of like the Lady of the Lake from King Arthur. Sometimes we get caught up in our own darkness, in our own shadow, and we don't realize that we actually can peer through the shadow and see all of the amazement within us and outside of us. So right now, you need to focus your light work on looking through the mist, looking inside at some of the places where you've already healed, at some of the places where the light is already there, the light is already shining through. You also need to look through the shadow at where you have already helped so many other people. A lot of times we don't pay attention and we don't realize that we've helped other people just by walking through our shadow self. just by dealing with our shadowy aspects. We've helped so many other people. Then when you turn around and you look through all of that dark, dank shit that we carry, and you go, oh my God, I helped so-and-so, and I helped so-and-so, and I helped so-and-so, so-and-so. Yeah. When you look through that and you see the things you've already done, Jeff, there's an amazing amount of freedom to be had there. You've been holding yourself in some chains and you didn't know that your light already has broken them. You're just sitting there with the shackles in your hands and you're not really chained up anymore. You've already let everything go. And then it's time to focus on taking some pleasure in some of the amazing things that you've already done and that you've already accomplished. A lot of times we get that freedom and it's scary as fuck because we don't realize that we had the key the whole time. And the last card is opening your intuition. By peeking through that mist and seeing exactly where our shadow has already done a tremendous amount of light work, and seeing that freedom that you already had, I don't think you give yourself enough credit, Jeff, for having the freedom and having the means to have the freedom, if that makes sense. When you realize that, I'm just going to say, take a deep breath, because when you realize that, it's going to blow your third eye wide open to the point it's probably going to hurt a little bit because you've had it so closed off for so long, being so worried about all of these other outside things that you have no control over. It's going to be absolutely super intense. But this one right here, I do want to talk about just one more second. Because with this particular card and with looking through the mist to find the mystery, when you start looking through the shadow to see where you've already healed, when you start looking through the shadow to see where you have healed other people, you're going to find a lot more questions than answers. Hence the mystery. When you start looking through and seeing all of those unique, amazing things, you're also going to see all of these phenomenal questions. And that's also going to boost your third eye, because you're going to be striving to see what those are and find the answers to them. It's a very interesting place to be, Jeff. And I think it's one that you haven't been in a long time. And it's going to be terrifying and exciting at the same time. So, yeah. All right. Felicia. I have Felicia, Michelle, Tyla, DJ. If my mouse will work, boy, we're going to have some words. Jackie, Jennifer S, and Jeanine. Excuse me. I'm going to refresh my list. I'm going to refresh my list because it's being a pain in the ass. There we go. Okay. Why are you doing the things that you're doing right now? Why are you doing the things that you're doing right now? Is there a reason? Is there a reason? I am not going to refresh my list again until I get down to the bottom, because me and this thing we're about to tussle. I'm just letting you know. We're full on about to fight in its face. We are full on about to fight right in its computerized touchscreen face. It definitely does need a modification. It needs a modification. It needs some modification right off my desk into the floor. I think I'm funny. I think I'm funny. I'm just saying what I'm saying. Hi, Felicia. How are you, honey? And then I'm going to drop some cards because I was too busy laughing. Oh, shit. Apparently, I'm going to drop all the cards because I can. Hey, Chris. How are you, honey? I didn't sleep good last night, so y'all are probably going to get Sleepy Stupid Bodhi in about an hour. I'm just letting you know. So, yeah, my arm hurt just a little bit last night, and I didn't sleep very well. I kind of tossed and turned a little bit much a lot. A little bit much a lot. It sucked. It sucked. So, yeah. All right. See, I made the mistake of doing something and now I fucked it all up again. Well, this is what it is. All right, Felicia. Ready? Ready? Oh, well, for those of you guys that just got here, I got a big new tattoo piece. You can see the bruise from it right there. Yeah, that's a bruise. It's great. There's the end of it. So, yeah. I absolutely love you right back. All right, here we go, Miss Felicia. Colorful cards, all the flowers. Man, you can't make this shit up. Wow. You ready? I'm just gonna read these, and then like I'm gonna read the cards, and then I'm gonna tell you what they mean. But I want you to see, because you're gonna see some of it already, and why I say you can't make this shit up. So the first thing you have is regeneration and rebirth, potential, purification, and align your universe. And notice the flowers. Do you see why I'm saying you can't make this shit up? So, Miss Felicia, apparently you are stubborn and you've been getting all of these signs for a little while, but yet you're just like, boo. Because sometimes we make things way harder than it has to be because we expect them to be hard. So when things come really, really easy, when they come really, 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 really easy, yeah. Y'all, don't go into other people's lives and start doing that kind of crap. That is just so rude. It's so rude. Okay? Don't come into someone else's live and start advertising your stuff unless they specifically invite you to do so. Okay? Yeah. Blocked. Okay. All right. Felicia. Let's talk about this regeneration, death, and rebirth card. I have this feeling that you're kind of in denial. That you're kind of in denial about where your light work is headed. Okay? Because when our light work gets to a point where we have to leave part of us behind, we get to go through this. This regeneration, death, and rebirth is hard, intense. It's some of the hardest things you will ever have to do. When you go through this point in your light work, when we first start to find our spiritual path, it's all love and light. It's all love and light. Not for everybody, but for the vast majority. It's all love and light. You don't ever want to do anything bad because you don't want the bad to get back on you or whatever, blah, 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 blah. Then we hit a point in our practice, in our path, where we know it's time to shift. We know it's time to move forward. Thank you, third. We know it's time to take a step sideways. But the problem is we don't know how at first. So the universe goes, okay, you're ready. You're asking for how to move forward. And suddenly every fucking thing gets removed. You could have everything going just fucking swimmingly. May not be perfect, but nothing ever is, but just swimmingly. And then all of a sudden it's like, you lose your job, you lose this, you lose a relationship, you lose your house, you lose just blah, 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 all of it just gone. You lose everything. And you go through this regeneration and this just death in here because you just lost everything that you thought made you you. But here's the thing. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and follow you because we're going to have so much fun later. I love it. So I'm going to troll you the trolls. It's awesome. I can't wait. We go through this massive death of everything because we don't realize that all of that shit is just shit. That's when you come to the realization that everything around you, it's just shit. You can replace shit. You can't replace you. You can't replace feelings. You can't replace people. You can't replace this. I can replace this sweater. I would die, but I could replace this if I had to. I can replace these cars. I can replace this house. It's just shit. So here's the thing. We go through this death of the old self, the old ego. And we see all of the potential that opens up in front of us. This is where you're at, is seeing this potential. But there's still a little bit of purification that has to be done. Okay, Felicia? The potential is going to show you where there are things that have to be let go of, where there are things that have to be shifted, moved forward, etc. That's where this comes in, aligning your universe. When you have this potential and it is out there in front of you, and you can see everything really clearly for what it is. When we have that potential, we see everything very clearly for what it is. When you start to align your universe to shift you towards this rebirth, towards this potential, towards this growth, we automatically know and see what has to be purified. A lot of times it's something with us. And sometimes the universe just automatically does it. Okay? Align your universe, Miss Felicia. Align your universe. You're going to see this potential and you're going to forget all about the vast majority of the pain that you went through with this death and this rebirth sometimes too, yeah. That makes sense? Just saying. All right. Michelle C, are you ready? Interesting. I can't seem to get one that wants to draw for you. And then it's like a whole chunk came out. It has been a long week already. Like, it's been such a long week already that it feels like Friday or Saturday. It doesn't feel like Thursday. It doesn't feel like Thursday. So, yeah. Nope. Man, Michelle. All the things. All the things. Thank you, love. How are you? Oh, thank you, Bernie. All right. Can't make this shit up. I love it. All right, Michelle. Don't shoot the messenger, okay? You start off with the keep the vigil, justice will prevail. In other words, you have to keep your you have to keep turning the other cheek. You have to keep being the bigger person. You have to keep moving your chin here and there so you're not down in the dirt. Oh, girl, I'm sorry. Don't choose a messenger. Don't choose a messenger. Sometimes our light work only comes into laser focus when we turn the other cheek repeatedly. Now, I know from personal experience, this fucking sucks. I know from personal experience that it is stupid. It's stupid because we want to go, you know what? Oh yeah? Well, I know blah, 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 blah. We want to be a petty ass fuck just like the other people around us. But the problem is we know something in our gut tells us that we can't, that we have to take the high road, that we have to turn the other cheek, that we have to be the bigger person. But we do it, and that's where your light needs to be focused right now, is being the bigger person, keeping the vigil, and just walking forward. Because you're currently in a standstill. You're in a holding pattern. I know I just said walking forward and then a standstill. When we're keeping the vigil, when we're turning the other cheek, and when we're being the bigger person, we feel like we're stuck. We feel like we're in a standstill. We feel like we can't continue to go forward because we're fucking standing here just taking it on the chin every 2 seconds. But here's what's funny. I love you right back. This is also the blessings card. Remember how I just said that it fucking sucks to have to take it on the chin? It fucking sucks to have to be the bigger person. It fucking sucks to have to sit and just take it. There's a reason your gut tells you to do so. There's a reason your gut tells you to sit there and turn the other cheek and keep the vigil and just wait. Because in the long run, what you're doing is your own light work. Your own light work. Sometimes our light work we do is for us. It's not even for other people. And that's when all the blessings come in. If you had told me at this moment in, say, October, right before Halloween in 2019, that I would be where I'm at right now, I probably would have laughed at you. I probably would have laughed at you. I wouldn't have believed you. It would have been I would have been like, man, that'd be awesome. That'd be great. That'd be cool. I'd like that. But I wouldn't have believed you. Because I was in this mode right here. I was in this mode right here. In this, where you're at. I didn't realize that by turning the other cheek, I didn't realize that by continuing to take it on the chin repeatedly, and this perceived standstill that I thought I was in was actually doing this. It was also aligning my universe. Like I said, you can't make this shit up. It was aligning my universe. By focusing on me and my own light work, and by focusing on you and your own light work, Michelle, all of these blessings are going to hit you so hard. Here's what's funny. Here's what's funny. Hey, baby, how are you? So when those blessings start to come in, you're going to question them at first. You're going to question them. But when you get your universe fully aligned, you welcome them with open arms. Okay? So, Miss Michelle, I know that it sucks right now, and I know that taking it on the cheek and being the bigger person is stupid. But that is your light work you need to do for you. Okay? All right, Miss Tyla. Let me refresh my list. Let's knock on wood and see if it works. And see if it works, okay? All right. It's kind of being a... This is why I don't read with these cards a lot, because they are almost too big for my hands. So I did cut my tickets off a little bit early, but y'all are going to see a lot of me. Y'all are going to see a lot of me. Yeah, I love them too. Like, they're absolutely beautiful. They're just, I have little hands, and so I can't even wrap I can only get about that much of the deck. You see what I mean? So I have Tyla, DJ, Jackie, Jennifer, Jeanine. I hope I'm saying that right. Or is it Jeannie? Jeanine? I'm probably saying it wrong. Why is it, Tyla, that you just don't want to throw me out one good card? It's like a whole bunch. There we go. There we go. Aw. I'm so glad, Cindy, honey. I'm so glad. I'm glad I could help out in any way. So Reiki is at 8:30 Central. So it was about 2 hours ago. And I went for almost a full hour. But then we got interrupted by some boom booms. And I had to go figure out what the fuck that was, because it was really loud. All right. Let's see. I know there were a couple that it said, there's 2 that say they're reserved. So I don't know. Sometimes that means they're just still stuck in the checkout. It's weird. This thing is weird sometimes. So I'll keep refreshing. Don't stress. Don't stress. All right. Am I saying it right? Is it Tyla? Am I saying it right? All right. You might go in and refresh and see if it helps, Pink. Okay. Well, you have some fun light work. So let me just say this, Tyla. You have some fun light work coming your way that is, it will be fun in the long run. It won't be fun at first. It won't be fun at first. Because the first thing you start off with is bringing peace to troubled waters. I know you don't want to be the peacemaker, but you are, because your next card is also patience. So let's talk about this one first. When we're the person that brings peace to troubled waters, it usually means that we are continually surrounded with chaos. We are continually surrounded with chaos. And when we finally get that person, that situation, that job, that family, whatever the fuck it is, when we finally get that to calm and relax, something else happens. And it's not ever just like these little bitty things. There is always chaos. Always chaos. And we are also the person that when everybody comes to us, they're like, I feel so much better whenever I'm around you. Well, yeah, because you are the one that calms the troubled water. You are the calm in the chaos. You are the eye of the storm. When the wind stops blowing and everything is calm, that's you. That's you. You're in this light work rotation with being the calm person for all of the chaotic bullshit that everybody else is dealing with. I don't want to say learn, because it's not learn. It's like to imprint patience in you. Does that make sense? Sometimes our soul goes through this type of intense light work to imprint patience on us. It's not just to learn it. In no way is it just to learn it. It's to imprint it. Imprint it. Apparently, it's something your soul really, really has to learn, because the next card is the going forward card. So having this patience imprinted on you and being able to see that you are the one that is the calm in the chaotic shit. It's going to help you move forward more than you realize. I knew that was coming. More than you realize. What I find really interesting is that once, here's what's funny. Pointing this out to you is like not only something that hit you like a ton of bricks, like an epiphany, like, oh my fucking God. I've always been that calm person for everybody. But it's going to instantly push you forward a little bit with imprinting that patience and so on. What it's also going to push you forward with is this, and this is third eye vision. So be prepared for a whole bunch of shifts and pivots to come your way. Thank you, B. I appreciate it. Which one? This is white sapphire, and this is black spinel, and this is awesome. It is a band of fire opal, meteorite, and velociraptor tooth. My dude has a matching one. Just saying what I'm saying. But oh yeah, that one is one of my favorites. It's this big old huge white, 2 white sapphires, 3 white sapphires. But Tyla, now that this is kind of hit and you're kind of like, holy fuck, this third eye vision, all of these things are going to start hitting you harder and harder and harder and harder. Oh, I'm so sorry, sugar. Your third eye has been I don't feel like it's been closed. I feel like, you know how sometimes every single one of you is going to know exactly what feeling I'm talking about when I say this. It's almost like you have cotton in it. You know what I mean? So you sit here and you kind of itch because it's almost like you can feel like you should be able to pull the fucking cotton out, but you can't. You know what I'm talking about? Like it legit feels like your third eye just had a bunch of cotton shoved in there. You know, like when your mom used to put cotton in your ears when you were a kid to keep you from getting ear infection, whatever. That's exactly what your third eye feels like. So that's where your third eye has been. I wouldn't be surprised if you said that you'd had a lot of weird headaches across here too, across your temples, across your eyes, across your forehead. That tends to happen when our third eye is just plugged. It's not blocked, it's just plugged, you know? So, horrible headaches. Well, some of that is stress. That's a very stressful thing, but some of that is stress. All of this is light work, whether you realize it or not. Light work is not always just love and light and let's heal the world. Light work is hard. Light work is hard. So, honey, you are the calm in the storm for everybody. You are the one that has the patience. What sucks about that is that the people that are the calm in the storm, they don't always get to grieve like other people grieve. They don't always get, they feel like they don't always get the downtime that everybody else gets because they have to be the strong one. They have to move forward. They have to do the things. So, pay attention to your dreams going forward. Pay attention to the things you just feel, okay? Pay attention to the visions that you see whenever you are preoccupied. A lot of times, we're not taught in the West how to meditate from a young age, whereas people in the East are taught that. So we don't know how to quiet our brain. And we have this insane ADHD and just crazy ass bullshit that goes on all the time. So our meditation looks completely different than what we think meditation is. My meditation is driving. My meditation is pouring candles, pouring resin, like physically making something that I do a lot. So let's just talk about driving. When you're driving, especially if you're an older person, you've been driving for a long time, you kind of go on autopilot. You go on autopilot. Your feet know what to do. Your legs know what to do. Your arms, your hands, your peripheral vision all knows what to do. But in here, most of the part of your brain is just like drifting. So then all you got to do is turn your voice recorder on your phone and just start saying the things that are coming to your mind. You're in the car by yourself. Who cares? Nobody's going to hear that shit. And then after a minute, you realize like, holy fuck, like I just realized blah, 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 blah. Because your body is occupied and your brain doesn't have to focus on all that shit. Driving is fantastic meditation. Fantastic meditation. So, I hope that helped, Miss Tyla, honey. And I'm so glad that you got to come and hang out with us. And please, please, please come and hang out with us again. I don't know if this is your first time watching me or what, but I do full Reiki sessions Mondays and Thursdays, every single Monday and every single Thursday. And with what you went through, the little tiny thing that you told me right there, it'll help you tremendously. It'll help you tremendously, okay? And just come and hang out. Just come and hang out. Just saying. All right. DJ, you ready? Okay. Yours is obviously going to be different. Thank you, Bird Lady. I changed up my eyeshadow. Do you notice that? Wow, DJ, you like to throw cards. You like to throw cards. I figured it was fall, so I would break the olive green out. All right, ready? Oh, thank you, Estella. Oh, apparently you need all the cards because, okay, all right then. All right, okay. Okay. So, like, instead of drawing like one card, two cards, and then one card from that last deck, two came out of the first. And they landed like this with a big space. I'm like, okay, a card goes there. But then you threw these cards. Like, so here's going to be like my first thing that I'm going to say / ask or whatever, DJ, is this. Oh, I'm so glad that it helped. Your brain doesn't work in the normal 1, 2, 3, 4 mode like other people's work. It's like 1, 6, 3, 2, 5, 7. Like it bounces back and forth like this. Don't let anybody tell you your brain is broken because it bounces back and forth, DJ. Okay? Don't let them tell you your brain is broken. You have a fantastic brain. Your brain works differently. And it sounds like a them problem if they think that your brain is broken because it doesn't work the exact same as their brain does. You have a fantastic brain. You have something fantastic you're supposed to do in your life. And I have a feeling that you probably have done the majority of it and you don't even realize that you've done it. So, your light work right now, I find this so funny. Literally, these are two separate cards from two separate decks. They sandwich your whole reading and they say almost the exactly same fucking thing. You can't make this shit up. So first you have purify your surroundings. Okay? We already kind of talked about what a purification of our surroundings mean. It means me yawning again. A purification of our surroundings, whether it's a deep clean of the physical house or ourself or a spiritual clean or whatever. We're clearing out the cobwebs and the junk and the bullshit that's been kind of holding us back. And when we do that, think about it. When you first move into a house, when you go to look at a new house and you look at all that open space, what do you see? What do you see? You see all kinds of potential, do you not? You look at a brand new living room and you're like, man, like I could put my couch there or there or there, or would look cool here. You start like looking at all the ways you could rearrange that new room, all the potential. The same thing happens when we clear our space. When we clear our space out, we start to see all of the potential that we originally saw. So say we go into our living room, we've lived in this place for a little bit and we're like, man, like I don't like my living room like this. So what if I moved my couch over here and the TV over here and blah, blah, blah. And then we start to see all of the potential. You're at the point where you're starting to see all the potential. You still have some clarification to do. These two things right here are for you. Okay? All of this other stuff over here is a higher calling. But these two things are for you. You're going to have to do these two things before these things can happen. And we're going to talk about them, okay? Clear your space and look at the potential. Now, this next card is be courageous. Be courageous. Truth conquers all. For some reason, I thought it said justice. I was like, I don't think it says justice. When we clear our space and we open up this potential, we start to see areas where we have been holding ourselves back. We start to see areas where we could move down this path, but that path is scary as fuck because we've never been down that path. We start to see all of these places that we have been lying to ourselves, that we have been lying to, not lying to others, but you know, those projections that we put out that aren't really us. Does that, you see what I'm saying? It's almost like we're lying to ourselves, we're confusing ourselves, but still putting it out there for everybody else. And we have to be brave to be able to take the step out of there. When we see all that potential and it's this wide open field, we have to be in the mindset and be brave enough and moving forward that we can actually take the first step. We handicap our own selves by staying in the comfort zone. So when we finally decide to be courageous and to step out of it, you know, you sit there constantly like, I'm going to throw up, you know, like, I don't want to do this. But you have to. These last few cards are really interesting because when this card flung out, it flung out like this, all whopper jawed. Not quite sideways, but whopper jawed. Well, I thought it was just this particular card. This is the enlightenment card, but it's not. It's also the opportunity card behind it. Both of them are whopper jawed. Okay? You're on a path by just taking this step here to a massive opportunity and an amazing enlightenment about your life and your path and where you're going. But you have to be ready to do this first. And remember when I said you had things sandwiched here? I shit you not, your last card is clear and activate. Cleansing your space and clearing and activating. By taking this step and moving forward, moving out of your comfort zone and finding this enlightenment through this opportunity, it gives you the chance to clear and activate what's actually been holding you back. I'm sorry, JFW. I'm sorry you've had bad things going on, honey. So, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's a very interesting path. I don't think that you're holding your own self back a crazy amount right now. Oh, you're so welcome, honey. I'm glad. I don't think you're holding yourself back a crazy amount right now, but I think that it's getting more and more and more. Take that step. Take that step. We all get scared to move forward. Trust me, we do. We all get scared to move forward. I have gotten to the point in my life, I made myself a promise in 2019. I made myself a promise that from that point on, if I saw something I wanted, I would go after it. Period. I would go after it. If something came to me that I wanted, I would grab it. I wouldn't let it go. If there was an opportunity, I would take it if I wanted it. You see what I'm saying? I would make those all or nothing decisions instead of just kind of like, you know, well, maybe, well, I'll keep this over here on the back burner and I'll go do this and maybe I'll come back. I made the decision that I would never do that to myself again. It was all or nothing. All or nothing. And I'm not going to lie. My life has been fantastic because of it. Now, don't get me wrong. I do still sometimes second guess things, but very rarely. Very, very rarely. Just saying. All right, Jackie, you ready? Well, Jackie's going to go ahead and pull 2 cards just kabam like that too. It really does make life easier. I'm not going to lie. It really does. And I will say, like, I'm a Capricorn. I have a lot of Capricorn placements. I don't ever like to make decisions unless I don't want to do that many cards, Jackie. I don't like to make decisions without weighing every single option. And I don't. So don't get me wrong. Don't think that I just like run forward and I'm like, oh, yep, you know what? I'm going to go do that. No, I do sit and I overthink everything. I probably way overthink everything. But if at the very end of all that overthinking and I've weighed the good and the bad and they're about equal, and I'm like, you know what? My gut is telling me I need to do this. I'm always going to trust my gut. So if my gut tells me I need to do it, I'm doing it. And I don't look back. No regrets. I don't look back. By not looking back and by going forward and taking that chance, taking that step forward, doing the things. Have I been scared shitless most of the time? Yeah. But you know what? Again, my life is fantastic. Does it mean I don't have hard shit that pops up? Oh my God, I have so much hard shit that pops up. But, yeah. Just saying. So, ready, Jackie? You've already kind of been activated to some light codes, because the very first thing you have is seek the symbols and their meaning. You've already been activated. So whatever it was, the crazy hard bullshit that you went through, honey, you've already been activated to them. Okay? Now it's a matter of when we get activated to some of those symbols, to the light writing, to light codes, it's a matter of utilizing them. I do a lot of light writing, like the symbols, the sigils I do are technically considered light writing. They're considered an art form called a semic writing, like automatic writing, different things. Do I know what each specific swoop and dot and dip and line means? No. Do I know what the overall thing says? Do I know what the overall word means? Yes. You're at that level where you need to start putting pen to paper. You need to start speaking it and listening to it. Do you see what I'm saying? You need to start seeking out those symbols and their meanings. The symbols all have meaning, and the more that you get into it and dive in and utilize them, the quicker you're going to understand the overall meaning, okay? You may not understand each individual little swoop, but you're going to understand the overall meaning, okay? What I find really funny is the next card I drew was actually 2 cards. And it starts off with wisdom and then miracles. By opening up these light codes and by looking at all of those different symbols and using them repetitively so you know the deeper meanings behind them, comes an amazing amount of wisdom. And the wisdom that comes with it isn't so much just, oh, I know the things. It's knowing when to act on the things, knowing when to let the things go, knowing when to keep your mouth shut that you don't know the things, which sucks, by the way, just letting you know. But the miracles aspect of this tells me that you have something specific that you've been kind of manifesting and trying to move forward with. By learning the symbols, opening up to them, gaining that wisdom of what they mean. I cannot with myself into yawning sometimes. Those miracles are going to bring in opportunities. They're going to bring in opportunities. What's interesting about light work is this. Sometimes we've done enough shadow work, and sometimes we've done enough of the hard ass light work that we actually get to do the fun light work. The fun light work. The fun light work doesn't make up the majority of light work. The fun light work only makes up like this little bitty piece like that. The rest of the light work is hard and dumb. It's not dumb, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it sucks. Bringing in opportunities, love. Bringing in opportunities is also going to allow you to clear and activate yourself. Clearing and activating you, where you are, where you're going, where you've been. And adding in all of the power that go with those symbols and the meanings behind them. I don't know what my kid's doing in there, but my kid is supposed to be doing the dishes, and I do hear the dishes clanking and stuff like that, you know, like they're being done, and I just heard the F word, and in kind of a joking manner, but no crash, so that's good. So I'm hoping my kid is just on the phone, but you know, when you hear that, and then, yeah. I'm just saying. Now my kid is griping someone out on the phone. I love me some Kay. If I didn't think I would get banned from TikTok, I would allow Kay to do some readings. But Kay's a little hardcore with some shit. That makes sense. That makes sense, Jackie, honey. You've got an interesting path forward. You've got an interesting path forward. I don't even think you realize how much you're shifting and fixing to shift. Does that make sense? I love you right back, sugar. I thought you were going to sleep. It does for the most part. Good. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad. You are so welcome. Kay is a Leo. Kay is a Leo with a lot of Scorpio placements. I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to leave that right there. You're making me do the crazy grin. Don't you hate that when you find someone that makes you do that idiot grin? Makes your face hurt. So both of my kids are Leos. Brody is a Leo Virgo cusp. Kay is a full-blown Leo. Good night, Riku. We'll see you. We'll see you. See you. All right. Miss Jennifer, are you ready? Let me refresh my list here. Let me see if my computer needs a name. You'd think at this point it would have a name, but it doesn't. Oh well. And my kid is really giving somebody the business in there. It's funny. Yeah, my kid is really giving somebody the business. It is what it is. It is what it is. Like, I'm like, oh, damn shit. But what's bad is, I know that y'all have teenagers like this too. My kid can say stuff, and I'm like, oh, shit, like, damn. And then you realize my kid's joking, or my kid can hold, like, the straightest fucking face. And then I'm like, I don't know if you're kidding or not right now. Like, I don't know if you're kidding or not. And then my kid gets mad because I don't know if my kid's kidding or not. I'm like, dude, I've never seen someone hold a straight face the way you hold a straight face. Like, what the fuck? All right, Jennifer, you ready? I don't know if y'all heard that. I hope not. Ah, thank you, love. I appreciate that. So, have you already made a big shift? I feel like you've already made the big shift. Nope, all quiet. Good. Because there was a loud bang and then the F word again. So I'm like, okay. Like, I don't hear dishes breaking. Anyway, Miss Jennifer, you literally start off with adapt to a new situation. Adapt to a new situation. That's why I asked if you had already done this shift, if this pivot, this move. If not, I would say it's imminent. But I have this feeling, seeing the rest of this, that you've already done the shift. Okay? When we have to shift, when we have to do the pivot, etc., it's not ever, well, I was going to say it's not ever fun, but okay, let me back up and explain it better. When we have to do the shift and the pivot, because of our path, because of where we're going, whatever it is, it's exciting and terrifying at the same time. There we go. Terrifying, exciting, terrifying. Because we now have to become a different person. We have to adapt and shift with the situation. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. And so if this shift has already happened, then you're trying to do this adapting part. If the shift hasn't happened yet, like I said, it's imminent. Shifts with ourselves and with our soul and with our path are never good things. These are like massive dark nights of the soul. This is what shoves someone into a spiritual awakening. It's never like, I think I'm going to shift into a higher dimension today. That's not the way it fucking works. It's not the way it fucking works, okay? It's just not. We don't get a choice. Every now and then we can do it on purpose. We get all excited because we're like, holy shit, I just did that. But we can never really do it again. We can never really do it again. So when we're adapting to a new situation, that diligence that we have to have as a light worker doing actual light work Y'all, you have to be the strong person. You have to be the one with the major, hard, crazy titanium backbone. You have to be the one that takes the brunt of the shit for everybody else. And it fucking sucks. It fucking sucks. You don't get to break down and cry. You don't get to be the one that is a little bit weak. You don't get to be the one that it's okay to not be okay, because you have to be the strong one. And when you're adapting to a new situation, you cannot be the one that just falls down in a pile of mush. Like, you have to be the strong one. You have to be super diligent on it. This card has come up a lot in these readings tonight, and it's made me a little happy. This is the potential card. So, Jennifer, as you're going through all of this stuff and this adaptation and being diligent and being the strong one and taking all the bullshit, the potential that the universe has set before you, it's almost like a bright tunnel, like on the airport, the runway lights. It's just going to be this amazing bright path that you can't miss. It's not just seeing the potential. It's the universe going, you know what? I'm proud of you. You did the thing. Here's your reward. This card is actually one of my favorites. This card right here is living light energy. It's this beautiful tree. It looks like the tree from Avatar, right? When this potential is opened up before you, honey, you've done and will do so much shifting and changing that when all of this opens up for you, it's literally, in the movies, when somebody gets like zapped into this crazy cool, I don't know, magical power or whatever, and you raise up and your whole body's glowing and it's like, like that's kind of what this is. That's kind of what this is. Like, you just get zapped with all of this amazing new stuff. Like, I just got a cold chill. I don't like it. So know that that's coming. Know that that's coming, because it's just so much hard shift, change, be strong, don't let go, blah, 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 blah. And then, okay, it's a lot. It's a lot, and it's going to be hard, but it's also so worth it. It's so worth it. Okay? So worth it. I know I'm saying your name wrong. I don't know if it's Jeanine, because it's Jean. So we're just going to say Jeanine. And then after that, I have Christine David. That's the last one on my list. So I'm curious, Star, why don't you think you deserve to be here, baby? Good night, DJ. I will absolutely take that compliment. Thank you, The Death Channel. I appreciate that. I was just told that I look like a Disney fairy. All right. Ready? Here we go. I'm just going to continue to mess up your name, and I don't know why. It's like my brain can't wrap around how to say the word right. So what's really... Oh, no, baby, no. No. Yeah, that's not cool. I screenshotted it. You don't come into somebody else's lives and do that. All right. Jeanine. Ready? Woo! I find this very interesting, the colors. I also find this very interesting that you can't make this shit up and you guys are watching me shuffle. So you start off with actually a card I've never seen out of this deck, which is interesting. This is a deep secret will come to light. So in other words, this hasn't been set into motion just yet. And to be honest, with everything else here, this is more than just a deep shift. This is more than just a deep pivot. This is more than just a cutesy little, you know, Pinterest type awakening. When you have something like this, a deep secret will come to light. It gets to a level of you know those times when you, I don't want to keep likening things back to a movie, but I don't have a basement, so we're going to liken it to a movie or whatever. But you know those times when you see like the stairs that go down to the basement and it's dark as fuck down there. Like, you know, there's nothing down there's going to hurt you. It's your basement. You know that there's all of these things down there. Maybe you need to go get something really important. It's down there, but you don't want to go down there because it's fucking dark, right? Why is my nose itching so bad? You don't want to go down there because it's dark. Like, you can't see. So then your mind starts playing all of these crazy tricks on you. Well, there's going to be like Leatherface and, you know, Michael Myers and like all of the horror villains and every single, you know, all the bad things is going to be down there and they're going to pop out and get me. So we don't really want to go down the stairs because then we're just too afraid of what's at the bottom of the stairs. But we don't really know what's at the bottom of the stairs. So when you have some secret that comes to light, sometimes we don't know what's on the other side of that secret. We don't know. We might immediately think that it's bad. We might immediately think that our whole life is a wreck. It just toppled our whole life. Like nothing will ever be good again. But we don't know. We don't know. You don't ever know. So when this happens, Jeanine, because I don't think it's happened just yet. I think it's on the way. Your light work is going to be not only to be very diligent with it, but to embrace it. I will say this, when some secret comes to light, and it's a secret that it's a hard secret, it's a tough secret, it's something that is going to shift and change your life. Instead of fighting it, if you embrace it, you get on the yawn counter in the double digits, but it kind of confuses the universe. It also kind of confuses other people around you that thought that they were doing this or doing that to make things horrible on you. If you lean into the wind and embrace it, the wind can't really knock you over anymore. If you lean into things, if you embrace them, if you embrace changes when they happen, they don't seem so scary. So if you go ahead and turn the flashlight on your phone on and go down the stairs till you get to the light, and you flip it on and you see there are no horror villains down there, you were diligent. and you embraced it and you just went for it. And now all of the things that you were looking for are right there in the basement, and other things that you hadn't seen in a long time. That's also when the expansion comes. Jeanine, you're fixing to go through something pretty intense, something pretty tough. And it's going to bring out a lot of light work aspects of you that are going to cause you to embrace this crazy, dark shit. Because that's what's going to expand everything. Thank you, Claire. That's what's going to expand everything around you, honey. Okay? I find the colors interesting. Lots of red. Lots of red. Red's a color of action, of passion, of anger, of moving forward, not sitting still, not being stagnant. This is a lot of movement. A lot of movement. There's also a lot of birds, a lot of wings. It's a lot of movement. I'm just saying. I'm just saying what I'm saying. But the expansion you're going to experience at the end is going to be like nothing you've ever experienced before, sweetheart. Just saying. All right, Christine. You are my last one for the evening. Hey, how are you, sweetheart? Thank you for waiting so patiently. I appreciate it. Woo, that was a hardcore card throw right there. Thank you guys for all the new follows. I really appreciate it. If you are not following me on YouTube and Instagram, you should. I posted some pictures today on Instagram. Why do I feel like there's a second card here? We're going to go ahead and pull that out. No, we're not. We're going to drop half the damn deck. We're still going to do it. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, you can see pictures of my dude and I all dressed up in our Halloween, I almost said doodads, but like that made no sense. I need sleep. All dressed up in our bougie vampire Halloweenness. We had a fantastic time this weekend. I don't want to turn those two over yet. So I'm not gonna. We're just gonna leave them like right there. We're just gonna leave them right there. Okay? We're gonna turn them over last. So yeah. Why I got that weird look is because this card was like one of the first ones out of the gate that we had a Trolly McTrollerson with. Become the master you seek. Become the master you seek, Christine. I don't know if you were here for the very first reading, but you're at a point where the people, you're still thinking about it. There you are, love. You're at a point where you're thinking about all of the things that you've learned. And when this card pops up, it's usually because we feel like our brain is overfull. We feel like we've got too much crammed in there. And we do. And so we're trying to figure out how to like weed through it all and pick out the useful pieces of information and start utilizing them and so on. So this card right here is all about stepping backwards. Don't take on any new books. Don't take any new classes. Just step backwards and become the master, become the guru, become the teacher that you need in that moment. I'm not saying you won't ever need a new teacher again or a guru. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is sometimes we have to take ourselves out of We have to take ourselves out of the race to just be the best, be the master. We have to take ourselves out of that and start utilizing all of the things that we've already learned, all of the things that we know, and just practice, repetition, setting those boundaries firm in place. When we set those boundaries in place and we weed through all of that shit, all of the knowledge that's been just jumbled up in there, then we get to a point where we have openness. It's like once you clear out all of that crap, you can lay on the foundation and just look up at the stars and learn all the things you need to learn. I thought I was going to yawn again, but I didn't. Being really open after you've sorted through all of that jumble of shit in there, you're going to start to see that some of the other things you've learned, you've already been doing without realizing you've been doing them. You've already been just bam, 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 without realizing that you've been doing it. And then when that happens, you're going to see all the blessings that have already come in with all the light work you've been doing. You are absolutely on the cusp of it. You are absolutely on the cusp of it. I can't wait to see these other two cards. Should we turn them over? I think so. I can't wait till you hit here. Even though we haven't turned these other two cards over yet, I can't wait till you hit here. Because just that whole idea of just laying there and looking up through all of the things you've learned and actually being able to see the top and sort through things and go, okay, you know what? Like I already knew this, or that doesn't apply to me, or whatever. And having this like clear, wonderful, amazing, just line of light is fantastic. Right. Of course, it's the open your intuition card. Open intuition. And of course, it would come after you have the openness and, you know, sorting through all the shit that you already know. You can't make this shit up. And expansion. This is the expansion card. I love this. I'm so glad that I decided to wait. I'm so glad that I decided to wait. You see what I mean? We just talked about sorting through all the shit, building your foundation, and having everything open. And then you have, you know, intuition and expansion. Oh, I fucking love it. I fucking love it. I fucking love it. Honey, you're right on the cusp. In fact, I would say before the next full moon, you're going to be like completely falling. And what's funny is whenever we get attuned to light work, whenever we start diving into light work, it's not like we feel like we're doing this. It feels like we go like this, like that. Like it legit feels like we go like that. And then we start going back up. But you know that first big hill on a roller coaster, like you got to go up the hill? That's where you're at. You're not quite to here yet. You're right here. But I would say before the next full moon. And I am going to warn you, like, there's no seatbelts in this bitch. There's no seatbelts in this bitch. Every now and then there's a harness, but there's no seatbelts. There's not one. There's not one. I'm just letting you know. I don't know that it's quite Fast and Furious. It's old school wooden roller coaster, like beat you up, you have bruises afterwards. You know? If some of you guys are old enough to have ridden one of the old school wooden roller coasters, like they're great because you can kind of feel them sway a little bit. And so it scares the fuck out of you at the same time. But man, you end up with a bruise every fucking time in places you're like, I didn't even get hit there. Like, how do I have a bruise there? Yeah. Oh, think that was like 14 or 19 or 30. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. I'm so glad that you felt it before and you're ready to go at it again. Yeah. Well, YouTube, I'm going to close you out over here. I appreciate you hanging out with me this evening.